Welcome to our Teacher Connect series hosted by me, Eunice Letzobe, brought to you by DBE-E3. In this podcast series, we have discussions with teachers, leaders, and people in education. Today, we chat to Ridwan Samodien, the National Teacher Kader Asmal Lifetime Achievement Award winner. Mr. Ridwan Samodien, welcome. And how are you feeling today?
I am feeling quite good. Thank you for having me, and I'm feeling deeply honored and delighted to be able to be with you this morning and all your viewers.
Thank you. We are also excited to hear from you. Congratulations once again on your win and recognition for your dedication in changing the lives of so many children in South Africa. Take us back to the moment you heard your name.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I couldn't believe that when I heard my name. There was shock. There was just immense joy, little bit of sadness because I'm sure my parents would have loved to have been there, my late parents, because it was my father who egged me on to become a teacher. Yeah, but the greatest moment was getting a standing ovation. I think that was just something absolutely special. And we just humbled me, thinking that you don't do for recognition, but just to be honored in that way was just extra, extra special.
No, I'm sure your parents are looking down on you and smiling because you really did a great job. And congratulations once more. Could you take
Thank
me through your journey as a teacher? I can hear that you say your father would be proud of you. Do you come from a family of teachers?
Man, not really, although just very briefly on my father. I grew up in the 1976 Soweto uprisings. I felt very strongly about my buddies being incarcerated without trial, and I wanted to become a lawyer. But my father wouldn't have any of that. He insisted that I become a teacher. And although he was not a teacher per se, he was an instructor to the blind, teaching blind people how to make cane furniture so that they can have a living as people with a disadvantage. So my father insisted that I become a teacher. He himself, in my view, was the greatest storyteller that I have ever known. He would just sit by his feet the days before television, just listening to all his beautiful stories, and the whole neighborhood would gather as we listened to him reminiscing about the past and future events. And that's what made me become a storyteller and want to become a teacher. But at the time, when my father insisted that I should become a teacher, I wasn't very happy with him. Our relationship became a little bit strained as I pursued my journey to become a teacher. But I can tell you, the minute I stepped into my first class and saw these little people in front of me and how I could make an impact and a positive difference in their lives, I fell in love, pun on the word, with my father, because I then started having the greatest admiration for his wisdom and ensuring that I become a teacher. Yes. I have absolutely loved the 43 years that I've spent in the class, being able to impact on other people's lives, and would continue to do so hopefully in the future.
Well, thank you so much. You are an advocate in education, and let's take it as you fighting for all the South African children in their classrooms and saying that they deserve better education. And you are proving it every single day when you walk into the school premises. Now, when you do a Google search for lifetime achievement, it's defined in two ways. One as the notable successes that someone achieves during their lifetime, and the other one is a recognition of decades of consistent action on behalf of planets and people. Which description best suits you?
Hmm. You see, with the 1976 uprising, I became acutely aware that we as South Africans, we have been fragmented, we have been colonized, we've been enslaved, and we are broken people, generally speaking. And so my task and our task over the years was not to inherit this gutter education tag that was foisted upon us as a school for colored children in 1961 when our doors were open. And together as a team, we fought to raise the standards at the school, to create better opportunities for the school, network with other people out there so that we can ensure that every child at our school receives a better education. And today we strive for quality education for every child at our beloved school. But it's through these networks that we've been able to improve the quality of the many lives that have entered the school. But more particularly, I've networked with so many organizations, but the one that stands out when you speak about impacting on people's lives is the fact that I am the co-founder of an organization called Partners for Possibility. Started Kanamaya is the birthplace of this program called Partners for Possibility, where a business person and a principal is partnered to see how together can they place the school at the center of that community, how can they eke out better resources for the school, and how can they work towards striving for organizational health. And this program has exponentially snowballed across every province in this country, currently sitting in over 1,700, 500 schools across the length and the breadth of the country. It's being currently being run by Citizens Leadership Lab to ensure that when the fish rots from the head. And so if the principal is better skilled and knows his purpose to do the job that we need to do, then all our children will benefit greatly. So yeah, that would I would believe is my contribution towards making sure that every South African clever kid becomes a clever kid. They say if you give somebody an A, he will strive towards that A, and that is what we hope to have. Children being able to read at the age of 9, as our president has said, and you know the story about the Tims and the Pearls results where it says at 8 out of every 10 grade 4s cannot read with understanding. And that's a whole long debate, but my purpose is to make sure that every child that comes into my contact will feel that I encourage him to develop a love for reading and reading with understanding. And that's still my journey that I want to see going forward.
Thank you so much for that. You know, I'm one of those teachers that is really concerned about this grade 4 learner matter of them not being able to read for understanding. And I would definitely like to invite you back so that we can just explore that topic even more. Now, tell me, teaching as a profession, has it become easier or not? What do you think?
The teaching, yeah, I think over the last couple of years, we have lost sight of what our core business is. I was trained to be a teacher, you know, impacting on a life and building a human relationship and a bond with a child to make sure that we nurture the child, that we develop the child holistically. And I fondly say that we have been blessed with this beautiful philosophy as Africans, this Ubuntu a philosophy that says, I am because you are, and you are because we are. And that is the philosophy of our generation, our forebears, our pioneers who instilled that in us. And I think somewhere that is lost. And in so saying so, we have also heard about the indigenous people of the Americas where they work with a circle of courage, where they divide the circle of courage in 4 quadrants: a sense of belonging, a sense of mastery, a sense of independence, and a sense of generosity. So if we combine Ubuntu with that, we can develop the whole child. But the thing that is bedeviling education, number one, is that we have an unfair quintile system whereby schools are being funded, Kanamaya in particular. And number 2, this avalanche of admin work, of ticking of boxes, taking a lot of time away from a person, teachers, and whoever else is trying to deliver quality education. We are bedeviled with a load of admin, and that unfortunately distracts from our core task, which is to impact in the classroom, because they say it is within the 4 walls of that classroom where the moment of truth exists. And we need to fight very hard to make sure that that happens inside the classroom.
Sure. You've really actually spoken the words that my heart utters every single time I walk into a classroom. Bill Gates once said, technology is just a tool. In terms of getting kids working together and motivating them, the teacher is the most important. Do you agree with this statement?
Yeah, I'm not particularly a great fan of Bill Gates, but that's another debate. but on that point, I must agree with him. You know, the single most important factor or being or essential element in that class for a learner to learn is the human connection. When humans are present, there's energy that's exchanged between them. Having a Zoom call like today, you're on a distant side, I don't see you. So there's a little bit of the energy and the connectivity between two human beings lost via social media. But in the classroom, when the warm bodies are together and they interact with one another, immediately, like I mentioned, that sense of, then you have fertile, and for him to become a good citizen by then becoming a generous person, not necessarily in a sense of putting his hands in his pocket, but giving of himself and making the world a better place. So yes, teachers are absolutely critical if we want to improve the education system. And having said that, not only having a teacher, but teachers need to become lifelong learners. We are moving in the fourth industrial revolution if we are not already halfway there. And if a teacher doesn't equip himself or have some knowledge of where the world is heading, and the world is moving at the ever fast changing pace, the teacher's going to be left behind. And we know the story that when teachers learn, children learn. So it is critical for teachers to become lifelong learners, because as they learn and as they develop and as they hone their skills, those children are going to benefit exponentially from their journeys as they hopefully impact positively on those children. So yes, I agree. Our teachers are our most valuable resource. I'm very grateful for DBE and Western Cape Education Department. I come from Western Cape, for having recognized teachers and all the many, many sponsors who have made this possible. I think the value of our teachers are underrated in this country. Teachers are being frowned upon, but yet teaching is the mother of all professions. And I think it is a job well done to you guys for restoring the faith in our educators and for uplifting our educators. And more should be done to offer them the recognition that they deserve, because they truly have carried this country through the dark days of apartheid and our difficult years that lie ahead. If not for our teachers, our country probably would have been in a poorer state. So I take my hat off and I salute each and every teacher. Although all the difficulties and challenges that we have today, they are still at their task, doing the best that they can, ensuring and striving that every child receives quality education in every classroom. And thank you to all of them. I call them South Africa's terrific teachers.
Mr. Samodien, I take my hat off for the job well done in our classroom, in South African classrooms. And just listening to you, I am very inspired, and I see why you actually won this award. You totally deserve it. Thank you so much for spending time with us. It was lovely hearing from you. And what do you want to say just in 10 seconds?
I would just say it is the task of every adult to instill a love for reading for children. That is our core task, to make sure that we change the narrative from children who cannot read. We need to have a literate society. So every adult, please, I beg you, spend time with your grandchildren, with your nephews, with your nieces, and just let them read to you and you read to them. It's going to make a huge difference in their lives.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I think the listeners really enjoyed themselves. Lovely having you. Thank you.
Thank you.